probably one of the top 10 brands on the planet while spending zero advertising dollars. Business schools are going to be talking about that one for decades.
A former Tesla board member who has also known Elon Musk for 25 years was just on TV, and he talked about how the Cybertruck is going to be a game changer for Tesla. He also talked a little bit about advertising. Let's take a look.
Top level, Tesla just posted a record quarter, 422,000 cars. They're going to grow toward probably 1.9 to 2 million vehicles this year, all electric. They're showing 40% year-over-year growth. No one in the auto industry is close. And on top of that, they just posted their 15th quarter of profitability. So I think they're sitting in pretty good shape. I think there are three interesting things that came up yesterday. JB Straubel's coming onto the board. That's going to provide stability. Elon did acknowledge China is increasingly where the biggest competition is coming. Firms like BYD, SAIC, Geely, that not every American is familiar with. You're going to hear a lot more about those in the future, and they'll be starting to sell on U.S. shores probably by 2024, 25. But I think the biggest news, and it's been a little undercovered here, is for 41 years in a row, the number one selling vehicle in the United States has been Ford F-150, selling roughly 650,000 vehicles a year. Tesla will start selling its Cybertruck in September. They have a backlog of 1.5 million orders. They're going to be coming out of the Austin plant probably at a capacity of 250,000 a year. If Tesla manages to take a big piece of Ford's auto production with their most productive, profitable vehicle line, that would be a real game changer. So to me, that was the big headline yesterday. We'll see how things shape up.
If for any reason the Cybertruck is not a home run, I believe Tesla will make other pickup trucks. And therefore, I believe that Tesla will eventually outsell Ford when it comes to pickup trucks. During the shareholder meeting, Elon sounded maybe even a little bit bearish about the Cybertruck, saying that the costs may be a little bit hard to get down because it's a new manufacturing technique. Take a look at what he said.
We'll start production later this year. We'll start handing over cars later this year. There will be an S-curve of production, so it'll be slow at first and then ramping up. And I guess we'll see what the demand is like. I mean, I think we're likely to do probably 250,000 a year, I think, maybe more. Again, very much dependent on what the demand is like, and it's you know, we don't just need to ramp up production, but we also need to improve the production cost efficiency, which is going to be also a very, very hard thing. So, but I'd say it's, you know, 250,000 a year is a reasonable guess, and it might be 500,000. I don't know, but we'll make as many as people want and can afford, But then, like I said, it's going to be hard to make the cost affordable because it is a new car, new manufacturing method. In the grand scheme of things, relative to the production rate of all the other cars we make, it will be small, but still very cool.
But at the same time, Elon also sounded bullish about the Cybertruck. Take a listen.
Sorry for the delay, but we're finally going to start delivering production Cybertrucks later this year. And I think the product, if anything, is better than expectations.
A lot of people don't understand what kind of a beast a Cybertruck is, but I think the moment they see it move in real life, they will be like, whoa, this is pretty impressive.
When he says, I'll say what I want to say, and if the consequence of doing that is losing money, so be it, he's really referring to Twitter, but I wonder if you think that applies to Tesla too, and if investors should take that into account.
Well, look, I've known Elon for 25 years, and if nothing else, he's brilliant and he's unpredictable. So I think he does say exactly what he thinks at that time, and the board will have to decide if he ever oversteps his boundaries. But so far, it's hard to argue with the performance of Tesla.
Let me correct that. If you are a long-term investor and you have been invested in Tesla stock for quite a few years, then it's literally basically impossible to argue against Tesla's performance. However, if you have been invested for about a year or 18 months, then yeah, I understand where you're coming from. You are saying that right now, this is a buying opportunity, right? And if you're not thinking that, maybe you should be.
Steve, let's come back to the Cybertruck. I got to look at it yesterday. I also at least walked by where they're manufacturing it. And obviously he does feel quite optimistic that it will be here later in the year, a little later than they'd anticipated. It's a new manufacturing process. I mean, what are your ultimate expectations? Because it's different than anything out there from a design standpoint as well.
I won't be buying one, but who cares what I think? The reality is Ford has made a pretty darn good F-150 to take on the legacy and hopefully bring those young EV truck buyers with them. Rivian has a pretty good vehicle in the market, but Ford only managed to sell 16,000 of these units last year. It's all about production. I think they may double or triple those sales volumes this year, but Tesla has experience manufacturing, the others don't. Their facility could do 250,000 units a year. I have a hunch they'll probably come in at about 25 or 40,000 this year, but next year, I think it'll be over 200,000. If they execute on that, there's going to be some real pressure on Ford stock. We'll see if they can ramp up manufacturing. We know the demand's there, 1.5 million orders in the queue. Even if a third of them go away, I think Tesla's Cybertruck could be a game changer.
You said it, production is hard. But some manufacturers will get lucky and they will be able to scale, while some will explode.
How do we read, Steve, the move, the openness to advertising, which he talked about there with David? Because on one hand, great, it could unlock more sales. That's bullish. But on the other, it does make you think Tesla's acting more like a traditional automaker. It never had to advertise because it was in a league of its own on demand, and that was reflected in the valuation.
But there's three things going on here. This is a really interesting point. I've got mixed feelings about it because, number one, Elon has done something that just nobody has done before. He's created probably one of the top 10 brands on the planet while spending zero advertising dollars. Business schools are going to be talking about that one for decades. But what's happened here, and this is really the big picture point, is Elon has very carefully at Tesla done things behind the scenes for the last 10 years to bring the cost of production of their vehicles down dramatically. They have the lowest cost battery production in the world today. They have roboticized their production lines so their vehicles cost less to produce than anybody else. And they're the first to really get serious about selling over-the-air software features, which drops profitability to the bottom line. The punchline is they are more profitable than anybody else out there. They get twice the profitability on every car they sell than Toyota, 3x what Volkswagen gets, and 5x what Ford gets. So the punchline to all of this is they can afford it, and they're going from having a more expensive vehicle where mass market marketing didn't make sense to a lower cost vehicle. And Elon hinted a little bit about the potential of a $25,000 Tesla. If that happens, they're going to be in a league of their own. And yeah, he probably should be advertising with the beer commercials on the Super Bowl. We'll see.
I think it's pretty safe to say that the ads that Tesla will make will be quite phenomenal. Probably something like this over and over and over again in terms of how unique they will be. Now we need to talk more about Tesla's next generation vehicle.
People always want to know what our next product is. But this is not the time to... we obviously need to have a proper, dedicated product launch. I just want to emphasize that we are actually building a new product. We are actually designing a new product. We're not sitting on our hands here. There are two new products that I think you will be very excited about. And both the design of the products and the manufacturing techniques are head and shoulders above anything else that is present in industry. So, yeah, anyways.
There has been a lot of speculation about what kind of a vehicle that is actually going to be. Is it going to be an actual next generation vehicle, or maybe it's going to be a Model 3 or a Model Y, but the refreshed versions? And if you look at the silhouette, well, I can make a pretty good conclusion out of this that I want to share with you, but I need to play this clip first.
If I were to guess, I would say of these two new products, just these two new products alone, I would say we will probably make, obviously this is just Elon's guess, so don't sue me. Elon's guess is that that will probably make in excess of 5 million units a year of these two models combined.
Back to my conclusion, what I see is about 5 million sales per year. In terms of what kind of a vehicle it is going to be based on this silhouette, I think the only thing that is abundantly clear is that it is not going to have the same manufacturing technique that the Cybertruck is going to have, because you don't see any rough edges, it's all smooth. In this video, I talked about Tesla starting to advertise. My name is Matt. Please just like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.